What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the Lit Fam. Now today we got What is Sonic Dark Gaia Infection AU by Ty Records LOL. This is one you guys recommended and I'm actually interested because I literally love Sonic, so hopefully it doesn't make it too creepy, but we gonna see. Without further ado, make sure to grab your popcorn and let's see.
Similar to my Sonic Infested video, Mickey Mouse AVI, and other videos.
Well, they have a Mickey Mouse one?
Sonic Gaia's Infection AU
have to watch that one next.
landed in my presence. So I did my research and I don't want to know the ending. So
what you
following
mean?
the events of Sonic Unleashed, when Eggman interrupted the Earth's
Bro, I ain't gonna lie, Sonic Unleashed probably the best Sonic game ever released. Like, let's be honest. Like, what game is better than Unleashed, bro?
cycle of destruction and rebirth, this was a long repeated battle over thousands of years and centuries, reawoken by
Thousands
Eggman
of years?
between light and Dark Gaia. Not only did Eggman wake up Dark Gaia out of his slumber to fulfill his plans of world domination.
So Gaia means that big ass monster, bro? That thing's scary.
But Sonic and Light Gaia had to band together to seal Gaia until he awakens thousands and thousands of years later once again in the future. But in this alternate universe, Eggman unfortunately, regrettably awoken Dark Gaia again, this time by accident, causing chains of events that might be disturbing. We start
by
off
doing
with
what?
Eggman's memos, with him talking about what's going on with Dark Gaia. As you can see, once again, the Earth shattered with Dark Gaia's beasts infesting the Earth.
God damn.
This time amongst them.
I wonder how the Earth would actually look if it was really cracked like this, bro. Would everybody just be like on separate planets almost? That's what it feel like.
Demon-like animals that are spreading infections using contaminated Dark Gaia energy within their body. In Eggman's classified files, we're shown what they look like and also the different levels and abilities of the nightmares, which is what they're called.
This could low-key be turned into a real Sonic movie if you think about it, bro. I think that would go hard.
You can see there's the regular nightmare, then deep, and most dangerously infected. Unlike the other nightmares,
there's different categories.
It doesn't only show its face during the night. The infected nightmares roam during the day and infect anything they scratch or any flesh they pierce due to Dark Gaia's malice.
So that can spread easily.
Immune to this, like Shadow the Hedgehog because of his immortality. Silver the Hedgehog.
Wait, Shadow is immortal? I mean, that would make sense. He's kind of badass. I honestly, as much as I love Sonic, bro, Shadow is a very, very close second, bro.
Because of his genes and him being from the future. It could also be
he's from the future. That makes sense.
His psychokinesis powers work as well. Because
Silver is so OP too, man. Oh my god, I just like all the characters, bro. Sonic, Silver, Shadow, they're all so lit.
Metal Virus event, he was kinda untouchable due to how his powers work. Then there's Chip, also known as Light Gaia, who's not only immune to, but fortunately can cure those who are infected.
Oh, it can cure?
Unfortunately, can only do it within the first 48 hours post-infection. Luckily, Tails survives because of this. But remember,
ew, this
Chip
thing
is
ugly.
only one person and the whole world is being infected.
Yeah.
Imagine there was only
so there's not a whole bunch of Chips around, it's just him and he's the only one that could do that?
one doctor on Earth. A lot of
Damn,
people are biting the dust. And so we're shown the different stages of what happens once a person's infected, with the first stage being Dark Gaia's energy leaking and seeping from your wounds and you're now contagious. In the second stage, you start to rapidly bald, looking similar to a sheared sheep and a sphinx cat. Any quills,
so basically you ugly shit.
Feathers, fur, skin, or etc. start shedding, increasing the victim's agony. By the third, it starts to feel unbearable. This is when you become very agitated. Your bones...
Bone breakage? So your bones just randomly just start breaking? Imagine that, chat. Imagine like you just sitting down. I'm just sitting down in the chair right now. You're sitting down on your phone watching this or watching it on your TV and randomly your arm just breaks, bro. Like, imagine how weird and how much pain you would go through.
Start breaking and
like just out of nowhere.
And the skin develops spots as if something is scratching, trying to break out underneath.
You get bone breakage and herpes, bro.
In the fourth stage, the most painful experience takes place. All sanity is lost by this point, making the victim more feral and more monster-like.
Bro, I feel like I would lose sanity in the first stage.
Screams of pain are loud and unpleasant. In the end, by stage 5, not only is the victim fully under Dark Gaia's control, but the mutation is 100% finished, making the victim as dangerous as any infected nightmare, including making them likely to attack during the day as well.
So when it says 100% under the Gaia's control, like, is he actually controlling every single one of them? I feel like there's so much people to control, bro.
During the first week,
or they just all kind of follow the same goal that they have.
Dark Gaia's emergence, the character statuses were also recorded. Looking at Sonic's stats, he luckily isn't infected or injured, but unfortunately is starving, somewhat thirsty, and very stressed. Other than that,
dude, who
he's
wouldn't be
pretty
stressed?
healthy and has a decent amount of sanity left. But it seems like he's kinda in a lot of distress after witnessing Tails losing his life slowly.
Oh my God,
"Oh,
Tails.
buddy, I'm so sorry." Clearly referring to Tails.
Wow.
Who's not doing so well. His health and strength is very low, and he isn't infected.
Damn,
but
bro.
He's exhausted and severely injured.
I really like Tails too,
Interesting,
man.
Tails says, "We need Eggman," which shows how dire the situation is.
Yeah.
Since
I mean, Eggman would be the only hope for something this catastrophic, because as much as we hate Eggman, he do have like all the technology, and you know, he would be the one to come up with some type of cure.
Tails has voiced his opinions and frustration towards Eggman in the past. Next, unfortunately, Knuckles and Rouge are missing, which I'll explain why in a moment. But on to Silver, he's clearly been in non-stop battle, which is nothing new if you know Silver's character.
He's hungry
His
and thirsty.
Stress, hunger, and health are extremely low, and he's injured, but his strength and sanity is doing great. And he's again immune to the infection. I'm not surprised that he's more active in this situation.
He's just a straight soldier, bro. His sanity is up. You know what I'm saying? He knows he can't just give up on the world. He has to save everybody, and he doesn't care how much he gets injured and stuff, bro. That's a real soldier.
To
Facts.
even someone like Sonic,
Facts.
since this is nothing new compared to what he's dealt with in his future. Now, sadly,
That's true.
Amy's
His future's
deceased
fucked.
already in week 1.
Amy?
With her body being missing.
No.
She seems to have sacrificed herself, with her last words being, "It's gonna be okay."
To save
Turns
Cream?
out she was protecting Cream, who, trigger warning, watched her get eaten alive in broad daylight.
Oh my God.
Hiding. Big the Cat is completely unscathed. And
Bro, imagine how traumatizing that would be to see someone you care about literally get eaten alive, bro. Like, that's why I feel bad for like ancestors back in the day, chat. Imagine with the dinosaurs and stuff, or any child, like big animal, and you just see your mom get ate all of a sudden, bro. Like, god damn.
Froggy once again. He's looking for Froggy all the time, which is a running gag with Big the Cat's character. This is why you see him in the background in like every level of some Sonic games. He's looking for
my
Froggy.
gosh. Yeah, he is in the game.
SBO is doing the worst out
SBO.
of everyone, having to get his leg amputated
Damn.
to prevent the infection from spreading throughout his body. Vector was also
Like, how does he even run like that?
infected. But unlike SBO, he can't get this part of his body amputated for obvious reasons. And sadly, by this time is in stage
Oh yeah, because it's just gonna regrow. How would it regrow with the infection though? Wait.
1 of his infections. So like
I guess it
Gaia
just gets stuck
can't
in those cells.
reverse
I don't
his
know.
disease. Shadow is somewhat doing horrible, as his hunger and thirst are at its lowest. It
Oh my
seems
gosh,
been
he's
super
done.
stressed and can't function correctly.
Still has
after
99
witnessing
strength, though.
Omega's death. So not only is he not eating and drinking, but he's also taken off his inhibitor rings, which could
What?
possibly lead you to the conclusion that Shadow may have been nerfed. He's dealing with very powerful Dark Gaia minions. It's possible Shadow is being overwhelmed with protecting others, and of course, seeing what happened to Earth, the thought of not keeping Maria's promise might be leaving him with no choice but to take off his
that's true.
inhibitors and end the apocalypse as soon as possible. Surprisingly, this
Damn.
takes place sometime after
Bro, have you
Sonic.
guys watched the new Sonic 3 movie? I don't want to spoil it. I mean, bro, all of you guys have seen it by this point, but dude, the like Shadow's story was really sad, but it was so good though. That's why I love the movie. They did a really good job of storytelling with Shadow, bro.
Forces, and Infinite is not only injured, but is on infection stage 2. Blaze, on the other hand, is injured and also unsurprisingly doing great. Seems like she's taking good care of herself and is the most
she's
level-headed
good.
because she's stress-free and has 100% sanity. Cream's
Wow.
stats
So literally
are
nothing's affecting her.
also recorded, with her doing great. Besides that, she does have a small head injury. She's clearly unaware
Small,
to
that's
what's
her whole
going on
head.
around the world and very scared and traumatized, but is in a safe place because Shadow found her. Like I mentioned before, Omega unfortunately is
Omega
deceased
died?
as well. His firepower would have been very useful, but since the world is in pieces and
Wait, how can it die if it's a robot?
he fell into the chasm of the depths before Shadow could save him, they'll just have to do without
Can't
him.
you guys just like fix him up?
Chip is in the best condition, but is super low on strength. It's possible, like I said before, he's being overwhelmed with curing those infected. Eggman is doing amazing.
Would he necessarily need strength though to heal people?
Seems whatever scheme he had planned or whatever he was trying to dig up this time ended up backfiring, causing Dark Gaia to awaken on accident. On to Tails' memos, it's been 13 days and over a week has passed since anybody has seen Knuckles and Rouge, with the last one seeing them being Shadow, who suspected them of going to find the Master Emerald. It's safe to assume that they were trying to find the Master Emerald to turn the Chaos Emeralds back on, since it has the power to turn them off. And as of right now, the Chaos Emeralds are powerless. It's also worth noting that the Master Emerald was cracked into pieces due to some unknown reason, so Angel Island has crashed down to Earth. Here,
I wonder
Tails
what happened there.
What happens during Amy's sacrifice and why she was eaten alive. It turns out infected nightmares have low energy during the day because of the sun and have to replenish that energy, so they sadly ate her.
Damn,
45 days passed.
So they get energy from eating people? Like, that's crazy.
Gaia's emergence from the Earth's core. And now we're given Shadow's memos, where he talks about his perspective. Shadow's advised by Eggman that he's finally found Rouge. Shadow also talks about how everyone's been told to cut their hair because of the nightmare creatures and how dangerous their reach and grab can travel, reaching over a 35-yard radius.
Yeah, that's true, because a lot of them have like little spikes coming out their hair. They just have like long hair. I didn't even think about that. And they could just grab onto that.
For visual example, this is how far they could stretch their limbs.
35 yards?
A football field.
What the
What makes this even more terrifying is what they're able to do with their strength and stretching capability, being able to catapult and grab people, similar to what Werehog Sonic had demonstrated back during the events of Sonic Unleashed. Shadow
I remember that part.
On the moment Omega died, revealing that he was actually dragged down by a nightmare. He then goes on and talks about how the monsters are on par with him even with his inhibitors off, showing how strong Dark Gaia has gotten with over a week of being awoken.
Wow.
Sonic Unleashed Dark
So they're saying they could keep up with Shadow, right? Like his speed and stuff? Because once he takes the inhibitors off, I can't remember the exact details from that, but that makes him faster, right? Because it's like pretty much weights.
I was weaker due to Eggman waking it up early, and also they were able to deal with it faster because there was no infection. Fortunately, Shadow does realize their weakness is hitting them in between their eyes, as their bodies are super durable. Shadow's DNA of course makes him immune to the infection, and on his way to Rouge he seemingly was relieved, until sadly he finds out after opening the door that Rouge unfortunately succumbed to the virus, becoming mutated and under Dark Gaia's full control. This sight of her
and Knuckles too
is utterly horrifying, to say the least. Even in the 6-week files, you can see both Knuckles and her horrifyingly are looking disgusting, labeled as extremely dangerous. Talking about the characters more, Sonic.
That's the thing, because in this world with how powerful these people are, if they get infected, it's like the end of the world, bro. Because they can use their powers really deadly. Plus, they're being controlled by this big ass monster that just wants to end the world.
Week 6 is completely stressed out, especially because he lost Amy, Knuckles, and a lot of his other close friends by this time. He's so stressed that Tails isn't even allowed to step foot outside, and it's probably because if Sonic loses him, he'd lose his last bit of sanity.
That's it. They lost Tails, they lost Knuckles, and all them, bro. Amy.
Metal Sonic is around, but seems to be a missionary turret and immobile for unknown reasons. And
they tore him apart.
Attached to the roof of Eggman's base for protection.
Oh, he's got no sanity, no hunger, I mean, he's a robot, so.
It seems to be powered by solar panels, but maybe that could be just surveillance. Jet the Hawk has been rescuing survivors using his ancient board, and his injuries are from sliding across the road. It's possible he fell off his board when saving people due to the weight limit, or a monster grabbed it and their long arms caused him to fall off. But most
probably that.
There's some hope, and it looks like they seem to have found a piece of the Master Emerald.
Oh,
this is great because if they find all the shards, they can rebuild the Master Emerald and bring new hope to stopping this.
Damn, I hope they can do that.
Way better since week 1. He's even gotten a new leg, but he, on the other hand, secretly isn't on the
Why couldn't they give the leg like this to the other guy too?
Same page as the others. He's looking for the infected monster that attacked him and Vector, infecting them both. Shadow yet again is shown sad and is still grieving the loss of both of his friends now, and is even questioning himself on whether or not this is the life Maria wanted for him. He also has his inhibitor
inventory, semi-auto rifle, survival knife, pistol. Yo, Knuckles is not playing around.
Rings back holy and is using guns possibly to more accurately shoot the nightmares in their eyes.
Yeah, I would need that too. Shit.
Their skin is impenetrable by bullets, but again their weakness are their eyes. Vanilla, Cream's mother, seems to be taking care of everyone, making them meals and keeping them in high spirits.
Bro, she look like she's not keeping herself together. Look, she's all scratched up.
Is injured because she was almost eaten, but
she was almost
saved
eaten.
her and they stopped the virus from spreading throughout her body. She seems to play the nurse role of the survivors. Back to Blaze, she seems
at least they have one of those.
Good and is super low on thirst, but at least is super determined, stress-free, and has a couple Master Emerald shards. She's now trying to go into the Earth's
How many shards do they need, chat?
core to find Gaia Colossus. Somewhere in the world, Chip is weak from trying to save everyone he can, looking more and more tired. You would think that he would try to be going to stop Gaia right away, but most likely, no one knows where Chip is, which is why Blaze is down in the Earth's core to see what he's doing and his whereabouts. Also, Eggman has been doing good. He's been doing a lot of research on the creature.
Yeah, he's doing good. He's the fucking reason all this is happening, right?
Of course, and is the only one researching the creature's stats and abilities. 11 weeks have passed since Gaia's emergence, and Sonic has found Amy's hammer. But also, he's still at almost 100 stress, and his blood type is added in, which is kinda crossed out and scribbled out. And
yeah, why is it like that, bro? I'm kind of scared, bro. Please, Sonic, don't get infected.
If you look at his arms, you can see that he has greenish veins.
Oh no.
This most likely could be the power coming from Chip's bracelet, cleaning or also contaminating his blood. Tails is doing okay, but is kinda very stressed out.
I hope it's not something
wants
bad.
to leave the lab for some reason, saying, Sonic, stop treating me like a toddler. Most importantly, he has the Master Emerald shards and needs 2 more Chaos Emeralds. So hopefully he doesn't sneak out and lose all this legendary loot.
Yeah, if you lose all that, bro, it's cooked. Like, you guys might as well lose all hope. You got a lot of shards.
As in his inventory. Chip sadly isn't doing too good at all and is on the brink of death with 0 strength, 100% stress, and super low health.
What are they gonna do if they lose him?
That he's been alone with no Sonic or anyone around him for help. He can't be infected, but maybe with no strength, the fight back against the infection might not go in his favor anymore. Silver fortunately is doing great and might have a new scar, but he's still immune.
God damn, they scratched him the fuck up.
Is in high hopes, reassuring everyone that they are all in this and they can do it. He's even gotten stronger, so it seems that Blaze and Silver and somewhat Shadow have been carrying the most. Blaze,
yeah, because they're pretty much immune, so they have to be the ones to fight.
Has finally entered the Earth's core, but is stopped by something in sight, something unknown, which we can't see, yet at least. From speculation, I would think that it would be Dark Gaia because she's in the Earth's core now, or a fully infected or mutated Infinite. If you haven't noticed, we haven't seen Infinite since his stage 2
This guy's
infection.
scary.
It's been a while, and he's been pretty active in stopping some of the heroes on their mission, being Dark Gaia's best puppet.
Oh, hell
and sadly,
no.
that brings us to SBO.
You're a teacher's pet, buddy. You're never gonna get anything. Dark Gaia's gonna eat your ass right after you're done.
Still being deceased and finally dead. Sadly,
no, not
Infinite is the
SBO.
reason why SBO couldn't make it, but good thing is he did end up managing to take out and destroy the monster who attacked him and Vector. Unfortunately, Charmy somehow knows that he is the only member of the Chaotix somehow alive. And Vanilla or Cream are still doing fine, with Cheese reuniting with Cream as well. Now Big the Cat is revealed to be missing, which is another being that Blaze could have been seeing down there in the Earth's core as infected. But hopefully he's alive.
That probably was an infected
one.
one.
Who have been constantly trying to find survivors as a rescue team. Also, compared to everyone else, Wave seems to be the only one that suffered the most injuries and was infected but amputated her arm to stop the infection from spreading. Shadow is seemingly very
That sucks, bro. Having to literally cut off a whole limb just so you don't get infected, bro. And there's still probably a chance that it could, bro. Like, imagine at the last second when they cut it and then it spreads into the part that you cut it off to.
Still, and is taking the chance to try and
that
cure Rouge after taking her blood and saying, I'm going to change you back. It's possible he could be trying to use her blood to go to the space colony arc or Eggman's laboratory.
That's true.
And using her blood, try to replicate the same kind of immortality Professor Gerald Robotnik did for him. Hopefully that doesn't backfire, as it was an already infected Rouge.
Yeah.
Eggman, on the other hand,
I don't know
is
about
still
that
doing
one,
research
Shadow.
on the nightmares, and in the meantime had actually upgraded Metal Sonic and gave him mobility. And in the end, we're presented with Chips speaking to us.
Your work means nothing.
You will not win.
Oh my
Sonic,
gosh.
you don't understand. You will not
He
win.
get infected, dude.
I'm the light forever burning.
Fuck.
I would interpret this as not so good. When
Bro, I ain't gonna
something-
lie, this is probably the worst and scariest AU infection we probably watched, bro. Because the type of power that the infected have is crazy compared to everyone else.
Or someone says the light forever burning. To me, it means it's one of those cosmic overturns where a twisted version of something claiming to be good or pure is actually a threat or false savior or godlike being. This could be Chip, but completely insane and not himself. This could very much make sense because he has very much no strength left.
He has no strength,
causing him
but
to
then he can't fight back against the infection, so he's probably infected now.
be very weak
I don't know,
mentally
maybe.
and not being able to fight back from Dark Gaia's influence.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and make sure to subscribe as well so
This is a
you're
great
here
video, bro.
and you don't miss out on the next part. We don't know how this is gonna end,
Yeah.
but make sure to comment whatever you guys want me to cover next.
Facts, bro. Hey, everybody go like Ty the Records video and subscribe to his channel, bro. He makes great content. Yeah, leave your thoughts in the comments on what you think is going to happen, like in total to this world. Is it going to get worse? Is it going to get any type of better? I don't know. You guys leave your thoughts in comments, bro. I honestly think it can only get worse from here, bro. Because they keep collecting, you know, these Sonic characters, and they are all super powerful. And I have no idea how they're going to stop it. Unless Eggman comes up with this great plan that could spread the fucking cure across the whole world somehow and stop the Gaia monster. But other than that, I don't know, bro. But thank you guys for watching, bro. And I'll see you guys in the next one, man. Peace.